everyone, thank you for joining me today. This is Tanya with Riley & Company, and today we are going to make this adorable, super fun, and super easy Valentine card. When you open it up, there's a little message on pop-up stands. This is a very easy card to do, and I am going to show you how, so let's get started. These are the pieces that you will need for your card. If you have the kit, these are pre-cut for you. If not, I'm going to show you how to cut these yourself real quick. So the base of your card is in two pieces, okay? And this piece right here, the left side, is actually just a half a piece of 8.5 by 11, and your cut line goes from the center of the top. I folded it first so I could find the center. So the center of the top to the lower left corner. Don't draw your cut line, okay, because you'll probably end up seeing it, but just fold it in half first, cut it, and then just lay this in your scorer or your cutter. I'm sorry, not your scorer. Lay it in your cutter and just align that up. Center to left bottom. The other one is also a half a piece of 8.5 by 11, but it's cut this way instead. So this is 4.25. Okay, so then you're going to do the same thing. Fold it in half and start in the center and cut to the upper right-hand corner. So once you do that, you are going to end up with two pieces, just like this. And all we're going to do to start with is just simply lay these on top of each other and make our card. Now, this project is perfect for zip dry, perfect for zip dry use. The reason is, if you've heard me talk about zip dry before, you know that I absolutely love this glue. It's like rubber cement, and all you need to do is just put it around the edges. But the great thing about zip dry is it lets you move your cardstock and your papers before they lock down. So it gives you a few seconds to do that. So I'm going to put this on here and see how you can see the edges. I'm going to get this absolutely perfect by simply moving it around, and I'm going to close it up. I'm going to make sure all my edges are perfect, and then you can lock it down. If any glue happens to come out of the edges with zip dry, you simply just rub it off. And I'm sure we'll see that in this project because I'm kind of a messy stamper. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our inside piece, which is this Yummalicious Be My Valentine paper from 𝐒𝐿 or from Echo Park Papers. I love their papers. I'm kind of an addict for Echo Park Papers as well. And I'll show you in a little while exactly what I used. So again, we're going to take our zip dry. And this, again, is a perfect use. If I laid it like this with regular glue, I would have a problem. Okay, I'd probably either destroy my base or destroy my cardstock. With zip dry, I just push it down and move it around until my edges are absolutely perfect. Then I just seal the edges down, and I've got a little bit of glue. I don't think you can probably see it, but all I do is just rub it off. And that's the center of our card. How simple is that? So let's go to the outside of our card. And you have these pieces that we are going to put on. So the first piece we are going to do is our red pieces. And again, zip dry only. You only have to use it around the edges, okay? This is a perfect example of where zip dry comes into play so wonderfully, because I like clean edges and clean borders, and I can move this to make it perfectly the same all the way around. Okay, and we're going to just go ahead and we're going to do the same. And you notice just on the edges, right? So I'm just going to bring this down here and lay it down and move it into place to where it looks perfect. And then just seal it down. Okay. Now that was cut with just a square, or I mean a rectangle on the inside, and we just cut it in half that way, right? So now you should have these pieces to go with it. For some of you, if you bought the kit for the event, this may be on the top or the bottom, depending on which kit you got, okay? Because it takes, again, one rectangle, you cut it in half. So some get the bottom, some get the top. So what we're gonna do here is just, again, put our zip dry on. Alrighty, and move it into place. And that would be very difficult to do if you had a tape runner. Okay, and you can see that it kind of came out there a little bit. We're just gonna rub it off. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna use the bottom piece and just put it on. And we're gonna move it into place. And just clean up any of the overflow. And how easy is that? Our card base is completely done. Perfect. All right, so let's move on to the heart that will go on the front. Super easy. Okay, I just stamped Will You. And if I'm not going to color it, I love VersaFine ink because it gives such a nice, crisp stamp. I'm going to put this in there. And we're good to go. Oops, I forgot something, and you will see in just a minute. And I really did not do this on purpose. I've done this every time I've made this card. So if you open up your packet, you will have all the little pieces parts. And one of them is a leaf. I want the first one that I put on underneath this. So with zip dry, it lets you remove the paper in the first few seconds. You've probably got 45 to 60 seconds. I'm going to tuck it right underneath there, okay? Now the second one, the second leaf that you have in your packet, I'm just going to put a little bit of zip dry on the leaf, and I'm going to put it going up. Now this will squish out, of course. I'm just going to wipe it off. And the next three things that we have, oh, it's still in my bag, are little pink flowers. And I just took a nice soft pink that I had. We carry these Catherine Pooler inks. I love them. They're gorgeous, gorgeous colors. So all I'm going to do is take a soft pink and a sponge and just very gently sponge the edges of this. Okay, super simple. Okay. And that's all there is to that. And just in case you want the Catherine Pooler ink, it's rose petals. All right, so now the next thing that we're going to do is just put a little bit of glue on the back of each one. I like to put one on the bottom. And one, we'll stick one right there. And then we'll put the little one on the edge. Come on. Try not to get too much there. And we're just going to tuck those in, just like that. Now, I like to just go back and hold on to them while they're down and just kind of fluff up the petals a little bit so they don't look so harsh. Okay. And I had a little bit of glue extra, so we're just going to wipe that off. A little bit of glue come out there. The next thing, you should have pearls, 3 little pearls in your kit. Okay, and if you don't have the kit, you can put anything here. You can draw a center. You can put any kind of gem that you have there. All right, now I want to show you something with a zip dry. This will happen because it's like rubber cement in a bottle. So if it gets all gummed up like this, all you have to do is just wipe it off and it rubs right off your hands. Okay, I'm going to put 3 little dots in here. There's 1, there's 2, And there's 3. All right. And then I am just going to take the pearls that I have sitting here. These are slippery little things. And they've got a sticky back, so they're sticking to me. All right, and I'm just going to put those right in the middle. You could use red ones, you could use pink ones, you could use white ones. Yeah, this is nice, sticking to my fingers. All right, this is enough. There we go. Put that one on there. This is where a nice handy pair of tweezers might come in handy. All right, so get those all situated. All right, and that is our piece for the center, okay? Super, super simple. Now we're just gonna let it set aside for a minute and let it dry. The next thing that we're going to do as well is we're going to take, this is what I have left. I have remnants of zip dry everywhere. So I have this Be Mine, which is gonna sit right on top of there. All right, just like that. We're gonna set that aside. And we're gonna save that for last, but now we're gonna put in our little mechanisms that's going to make these pop up, okay? Now you can use mechanisms if you already have them, of course, but I'm gonna show you the super easy way to just make a basic mechanism. If you have, we included 2 of these in the kit. If you don't have them or you didn't get the kit, super easy to do. All right, they're just a little half an inch strip. And I'm not even sure if we measured them out. So there's one that's longer, one that's shorter. You're just gonna cut them both the same size. They're about 2.5 inches wide or 2.5 inches long. We're just gonna cut that off. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold it in half with each other. And then we're gonna fold it in half again. Doesn't matter if it's perfect or not, and I'll show you why in a little while. So when you open it up, you've got 4 folded. Now I want you to just kind of work those to where they move real easy for you, okay? And you'll see that it makes just a little bitty box, okay? So we're gonna do the same with the other one. Just going to fold it in half. And we're gonna fold it in half again. All right. And then we're just gonna go ahead and work our folds, just like that. And we're going to put it, so you should have your second little box. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take both ends and fold them towards the center and just set them down. So both ends fold towards the center. And this is where we are going to put our tape. Now, I could use zip dry for this, and I probably would if I was not doing a video, but I am going to use my double-sided tape because it's extra strong and it's instant. The problem with using zip dry on this is if you get too much and it squeezes out, it might squeeze or it might glue your card shut, so we don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna take my tape and I'm just gonna put it on these little ledges, okay? Just like this, on my little outside ledges. All right. Now, one at a time, we are gonna peel off the tape that goes on that. All right, if there's any left over that's hanging over the edges, we're just gonna fold it back so it doesn't interfere with your card. And we're gonna do this as well. Tear off this piece. All right, and we're just gonna fold it back. All right, so now you have 2 ends that have tape on them. So what we are going to do, set this one aside for a second. So what we are going to do is we're gonna take the first end with the tape and we're just gonna set it right along this fold, probably about 1 inch up from the bottom. Okay, and we are just going to press it down. All right, just like that. Okay. And we're going to lay the other one out, and we're just going to squeeze it. And I did that wrong, so please don't do that. All right, you are going to fold it in half. Okay, fold it in half, not like that. You're going to fold it in half. Okay, and I know you guys are all out there saying, wow, if she would have done that with zip dry, she could just wipe it off. I know. You fold it in half and then do this. And I really don't mind making mistakes on these videos because you all will know that we're human when we make mistakes on the video. So let's do it the right way this time. We're going to do our second one. Okay, unfold it, or take the tape cover off, paper off. And I'm just going to fold in all my little extra pieces of tape so it doesn't get on my card. Same thing with this one. Okay, there's no little extras there. We are going to line this up here about 1 inch from the edge, just like the other one. Okay, press it down. Fold this in half. Okay, so that the edge of the top one is also going to be on this fold. All right, and just shut it. Press it down, and voila, you have 2 pop-up mechanisms. Easy peasy, right? So simple. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to color our Riley. Isn't he cute? This is not the actual size that this stamp is. I made him a little smaller to be included with these kits, so it fits inside these frames. And the frames that we are using to do these, nope, these are for the flowers. So my little flowers and my leaves were from this Karen Berniston set. All right, flip frame pop-ups. It has a pop-up too, but it also has these wonderful little flowers and the little leaves. It has a little mushroom too, but this is a great set. And the frame that we're going to be using right now, I know I'm just showing you product, is also a Karen Berniston set, and they are the slim frames. And there's 3 in that. So just wanted to show you what I was using, and you get this with it. So I had to make him smaller to fit inside this frame. So we are going to color him with Copic markers. I've stamped him with Memento ink. And the markers I am using is E33 for his body, and then E35 as a shadow, and E47 for his ears. And we do have kits of these if you guys don't want to have to remember. So the way that I'm going to do this, you guys will notice that I color really fast. Just stay within the lines. Or not. And just color him in. And color him in. All right, so we have that. I'm just going to go back in and add another little line, okay, where the shadows might be. Okay, and a little under his chin. Then I'm going to come back in with my E35, and I'm going to add just a little slimmer of a shadow underneath his chin, maybe in his ears, because that would be darker. And just along his body on this side where it would be a little darker. Then I use E47 for his ears, or for his antlers, I'm sorry. And for the hooves. And we're done with the Riley. Super, super simple. The next thing we're going to do is just color in the little balloon. And I'm using an R85. In the instructions, if you bought the kit, it'll just say R29, and that's okay. You can use this too. I just got a lighter pink. And I tried it out when I made the card, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that. So I'm just going to show you guys. I'm just going to go over the whole thing with this lighter pink. And all I'm really using the lighter pink for is just for effect. It's not the color of the balloon. The color of the balloon is R29. I'm just going to leave a little bit of the pink where this little white mark is, indicating that that's where the light is. So on this side, we're going to go back over everything, down in here and do the little tail. And just a little bit up, okay? I'm going to come back in with my lighter pink and just blend it a little bit. All right, then to add a darker shadow, I'm going to come back in with my R29, but I'm only going to go over this side. Okay, so there we have him done. Now, he looks like he's just kind of floating in the air, right? I'm just going to take a C1 marker, which is a cool gray, and I'm just going to scribble a little bit. Give him something to stand on. And the C1 is also fabulous for putting little shadows back behind him. It just gives him a little 3D effect, right? And he is done. So the next thing is we are just going to take a little bit of our zip dry, put on these edges, little teeny bits here. Okay. I'm going to set that down, and I'm just going to lay my frame right on top of him. And he is finished. Okay. And there is our Riley. So now let's put it all together. Okay. So we are going to take our Be Mine, and this is where I use zip dry, but please use it very sparingly so it doesn't squirt out in here. I just need a dot to adhere this with. Just a little dot, okay? Not very much. And then I'm just going to set that on there. And I'm going to close it. And hold it for a second. And there you have it. If it needs straightened out, guess what? You can. Because it's zip dry, right? All right? If you've got your back piece too close to this and you can't get it centered, it's okay. If you can see that, it's kind of offset a little bit, and that's just fine. It's fine. So on this one, he is going right here. Okay, so we are just going to lay this right there, upside down. And just put a little dot on here with our zip dry too. Not too much. And we're just going to close the card on this guy as well. Just making sure he's straight. But if he's not straight, we can move it, right? And there he is. He is straight. So now, I might have that little too. There we go. So now, both of these should open just fine. And that's the inside. If you want something to write on, I would write on this with a black pen. But if you want something to write on, you could make another white heart and put in there if you want. So that is the inside. Whoops, get that tucked in. And all we have left is our hearts. So it's just along this edge. I'm just going to kind of take a mental note. Put that along this edge. Add a little bit of my zip dry. And just do my little centering thing. And that is as easy as this card is. Super easy. Can you imagine getting that? Keep in mind that you can send Valentine cards to friends, you know, to family. And this time of year, I'm telling you, people can really use them. So, before we go, I want to show you, this is the Echo Park paper that I used, just so you know. All right. Super easy, super quick. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and we will see you soon. Hi everyone, this is Tanya with Riley & Company. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Crafting Stole Your Heart Stamp and Scrapbook Expo event. We are happy to be here, and I've got some really fun things to show you today. So let me get you turned around and we will get started. Hang on. I was thinking about Valentine's Day the other day, and when I was a young girl, I really did not like Valentine's Day much at all because I was single. And then it occurred to me, we can send Valentines to people even if they're not our significant other or our spouse or our partner. So you can send one to your neighbor. You can send one to your coworker. You can send one to your mom or your dad or your son or your daughter. And with that said, we have got some amazing products today to show you to do just that. Now, if you're coming in off of the Make and Take events, you will know that we made this awesome little card that had two little pop-up elements on it. So I'm also going to show you today how to make a cute little gift to tuck right in with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, Riley, you know we have 382 different Rileys. We do have a lot of them that are love or like or kindness themed. So we have Simon and Sally Sloth, which would make an adorable Valentine card. We have I Love You, Carrying a Hearts. These hearts could be any color also. They don't have to be red or pink. A Balloon Bouquet, Simon the Sloth. And he could be hanging sideways also from a tree branch or something like that. This is my fave. He is eating chocolates on a couch. And here's Riley holding a heart. And you could very easily write any kind of words in there. I love you, I miss you, all kinds of stuff in this little heart. Here's one that has a card and a rose. And finally, here is the original size Riley with a heart balloon. Now, you know that we have 820 different snarky sayings, right? I mean, we are the home of the funny bones, and we do love our snarky sayings, but we've also got some nice sayings too. And I thought Valentine's Day would be a really nice time to show you some of those. But don't worry, I have snarky too. So, in traditional style, we have Be Mine and I Love You, which we're going to use in a little while. This is an amazing little saying that has been around for a long time and people love it. Life is short, break the rules. Forgive quickly, laugh slowly, love truly, laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that made you smile. What a sweet little saying for a Valentine for a friend, right? Here's another one. True friends do not value you for what you can do for them. They simply value you. Hey, you know I love you, right? That can be for anybody. I think you are fabulous. All right, remember Riley on the couch eating chocolates? Dip it in chocolate, it'll be fine. And then, of course, we do have the snarky sayings, and I had to throw them in because that would be the kind of Valentine card that I would send. I know sometimes I'm difficult and stubborn, but you have to admit it, I'm worth it. The real holiday is February 15th, when all the candy goes 75% off. And you guys know I am right, right? Those peanut butter cups, yep. And finally, I love you with all my butt. I would say my heart, but my butt is bigger. These are so fun, and I'm going to show you something real quick that we are going to use on our project next. And I'm not sure if people really know they're out here. We have 3 different stamps that you can put on the back of cards. Actually, I think we have 4 or 5, but these are the 3 I grabbed. One says, I hope you can see it, handmade by Riley and me. And then we have a barcode with a little Riley sticking out the top. And then we have a Riley with a little crown on. And these are a lot of fun to put on the back of your cards to let people know that you made them. And finally, of course, the set that you can definitely use for your Valentine cards and your St. Patrick's cards, this does double duty, is our Dress Up Riley Valentine St. Patrick set. It has matching dies, of course, but it has your St. Patrick items and it has your Valentine items. And the next make and take, I believe, that we're doing has a lot of the St. Patrick's items, so it will be so much fun. But this is the Dress Up Riley as well. Now, moving on, let me tell you about our specials before we get started with our projects. We have the grab bags back. The grab bags were a hot, hot item. What they have in them is 5 of our retired Riley stamps. And what that means is once a year in January, we go through a list and we decide what we're going to retire for the year. Those stamps go into a bin and they are now in a grab bag. So they could be Riley's, they could be Funny Bones, they could be a bunch of different mountings. They could be cling mounted or just rubber. And if you get really lucky, you might have one of our wood mounted stems in them that we used to have as well. So that is our special for this time. I'll set that aside and let's get started on this super quick, super easy, fun little project that you can put in someone's Valentine card. So what we're starting with, if you did the project, I'm making it to kind of match our project that we did with the make and take previously, okay? So it's going to have a red hearts and a white hearts, of course, and it's going to have a little strip. I believe this is about 2, maybe 1 3/4 and 1 1/2, I think. It doesn't really matter what size it is. Let me see. I have my little thing here. Oh, sorry, 1 1/2 and 1 1/4. And you're just going to layer these on top of each other, and we're going to glue those together. And of course, I'm using my trusty sidekick, my zip dry. And we're just going to attach that real quick. We're going to attach our white hearts to our red hearts. And you'll notice I got some of my zip dry over the edges. No worries, I got it. Okay, now these are 3 little pink flowers, and I think I'm going to leave the back side up. It's a different color, and I like it. They are from a set from the Karen Burniston line called, nope, grabbed the wrong set. So sorry. Called the Flip Frame Pop-Up. Now, most of you might know Karen. She is my business partner with Karen Burniston and KB Riley. So you're probably wondering why I show Karen Burniston dies so often. And it's because she's my business partner. And, well, she's a genius. So anyway, in this set, a lot of our sets include free decorator dies as well. Or decorator dies in the set. I suppose they wouldn't be free. But they come with the set. This particular set had the 3 flowers and the 2 little leaves with a flip frame pop-up. So I just wanted to show you that. It's $11.34 at KarenBurniston.com. So what we're going to do is we are just going to put these on our hearts, just arrange them in kind of a fashion with my zip dry. Put one down here. I'm gonna put one up here. Okay, and with my zip dry, I got just a little bit extra, and for those of you that use zip dry, you know that all you have to do to get the glue off is just rub it. Okay, now we have the flowers, and they're really cute as they are, or we can take our Catherine Pooler ink. And this ink I picked out was just a softer pink than what I had. You can use yellow flowers, you can use whatever you want. Just pick out an ink that matches it. And all I did was take a sponge and just real gently go around the petals of the flowers. And I'm going to do that as well. Okay. Now again, we're just going to dot the center of these and just put them down in random, kind of a random little fashion here. There's one. And here's another one. Kind of got to wait for the zip dry to set up just a second. And I think I'm going to take the back side of this one. That was a happy accident because I didn't know it was pink, dark pink. So we're just going to put those together and let them sit there for a minute. Because zip dry does let you move stuff around. But when it comes to the small stuff, you kind of got to hang on to it for a little while and let it set itself. Now, I just found some random pearls that I had that matched what I did with the card, so it kind of matches. And I'm just going to peel them off and stick them on. You could use rhinestones, you could color it in, you could do whatever you choose. Okay, now our heart is done. Isn't that cute? And what we're going to do is we are going to lay this up next to the card just to make sure that it'll fit. Because we don't want to make it too big so it doesn't fit inside our card. Just like that. So that's where, right about at that letter is where we are going to glue it. So I am just going to run some glue up here and a little bit over. We're just going to glue this on like that. Now, this I love you sentiment was one of the first ones that I showed you. Like that. I pre-stamped it because I'm a very messy stamper. In the first video I did on this, I messed up and had to do the video over. So now you'll see that we have zip dry on the back side. If you use zip dry, you know that you can just rub that off and no one will ever know you're messy like me. And we have us an adorable little bookmark. What a great little gift to put in someone's Valentine card. And every time they open their book, they'll remember that you love them. Well, they probably know anyway, but you know what I mean. All right, now the last thing I'm going to do is something that you probably have not seen me do before, but I am going to use the back. One of the card back stamps on this. And I'm just going to grab my VersaFine because it stamps a little finer. That's why I like it. And I always stamp off first just to make sure there's nothing on my stamp. And we are just going to put this on here. Just like that. And if you would like, you can sign it and put the year at the bottom. And then you're going to tuck your bookmark right inside your little card that you made for the make and take. If you didn't do the card for the make and take, you can go ahead. We will have the instructions on our YouTube channel for this card. Otherwise, enjoy. And real quick, one more time, our specials for the events are a free grab bag with any $75 order. Don't forget to go to our Pinterest page and our Riley and Company fan page on Facebook. The fan page is wonderful. We have thousands of people that share their ideas every month with us, and you could too. So come join us. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope you have a fabulous Valentine's Day.